And now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut, it's Chris Burns, it's Chris Lynch, this is Dysfunction Junction.
Man, the universe has got to knock it the fuck off.
It's not gonna. It's not gonna.
It's
chug the fuck away. We're gonna watch it all fade the fuck away.
Mm-hmm. More pieces of our childhood have drifted away this past 36 hours, and we're here to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Dysfunction Junction.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, boy. Hang on.
Chris Burns here in the square below, not Shadow Stevens, not having that conversation ever again.
God, no. What? Who?
But it's the possum. It's the Possum King himself, the one and only
Shadow Stevens.
Sure. That's me. Sad face McLynch this week.
And in the upper corner, yeah, I got you on that one. Producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair, ready to shit on all our parades, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
What is up? People get old, they die later.
True.
Later.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. Black man in the ocean, swimming, drowns. Not good look for your people, man.
Wow. Hey, if he was Mexican, he'd have made it back.
That's right. He'd have been here.
He's not wrong.
Over the fence, all right? He'd already be in holding.
So I guess that's where we'll lead off, because I have a feeling the bulk of the show is going to go to Oz. 2 days ago, Malcolm Jamal Warner, age of 54. You may know him better as Theo from The Cosby Show. Passed away, drowning accident. They just earlier today announced that it was accidental, which I think everybody knew. He wasn't a drug guy. He wasn't a drink guy. He was just a guy who went out there.
He was actually really clean, pretty straight edge type.
And not only that,
he's pretty straight laced.
Yeah, and not only that, as a child actor, he didn't grow up to be fucked up. He just went on to better things. He went into more acting, producing, directing. He had his hands in all sorts of pies, and boy,
he had a relatively decent, at the moment, a really nice little jazz career going.
Yeah,
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yep. Like he was playing he was doing some jazz and some really nice. He was doing some really nice stuff. He's got a nice little jazz career going. Playing I believe he was playing bass.
Having a stroke.
Stand up.
Are you having a stroke?
I don't know.
Oh, please have it on fucking camera. Please, for the love of God. For the love of God, lean into this, Lynch. Lean into it. Go to the light.
The lights over here.
Turn on all the lights.
We'll be on the next Your Stupid Opinions. 5 stars for Dysfunction Junction. We watched to have this one guy have a stroke.
Right? We watched just to watch one of their and what is the and I'm not, can you hear Jimmy right now? This guy did not cut the feed.
But the fucker die.
He did no.
They watched him plots. Chris called 911
right there.
I signed up for it.
And
that's true.
Right?
Voluntarily.
Lynch had his thumb up the whole time telling me to back off.
Think about it like this. We could watch the EMTs break through the door behind him and work on him.
Literally, we could sort of watch him medically swat himself.
The whole time we'd be like, yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner, you know.
We're just like, hold up, I'll turn up, I'll switch over to 4K.
Oh, throw that comment up. I didn't know about this either. The unofficial mayor of Middletown, Lindsay's in the house, and she said that he was under the tutelage, Malcolm Jamal Warner was, of Herbie Hancock in his jazz career.
Nice.
Wow. That is wild.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Herbie Hancock, fantastic. When your guys our age, Malcolm Jamal Warner was, and always will be Theo.
He's our age, 54, guys. I mean, like we're a year or two. All of us are a year or two.
53 this year, Chris.
We're right there.
But here, one of these things. There's always that. No shit, Sherlock.
It's nice.
Where?
He's one of those guys where no matter what you do, I look at John Schneider. John Schneider's made albums. John Schneider has made movies. He's always going to be Bo Duke.
He's always Bo Duke.
David Hasselhoff can swim on every beach in America, and beyond. He's
He's
always going to
Michael Knight.
be
I don't give a fuck
Mike.
who the hell he is. He's Michael Knight.
Here's
I don't
the
even
thing.
give a shit about that Baywatch shit. He's Michael Knight.
Here's the thing. Guys of that era, like John Schneider and like Tom Wopat, those guys, they aged really fucking gracefully and really handsomely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that minimal work, John Schneider has had, I don't think he's had any work done to him.
Maybe some
If
hair
it is-
plugs.
If it is, it's very minimal.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking pure genetics, man. They won the genetic lottery.
He's got good genes.
Good genes. Not we're not going to look like
We're
that.
not talking about Wranglers here.
How old
either.
is he? How old is he? He's like 78.
John Schneider?
Yeah,
Go to the Google machine. Keep talking.
you got it.
I
Yeah,
got it.
but
I'm working on it.
he's got to be in his 70s.
All right, John Schneider is 65 years old.
Get the fuck out of here!
Nope, April 8th, 1960.
Holy shit!
Dude, he was like an adult when we started watching him as like when we was 10.
He was
like,
barely an adult. He was 21-ish.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but he was like
10.
he was like 50
we were
when I was a
10.
kid.
But we were 10.
He was old.
We were 10. Now we're
Look,
50. Now we're approaching
listen,
55, and he's
context.
10 years older.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Context. The cast of Barney Miller were all under the age of 50 when that started filming.
And they all looked 60.
Abe Vigoda looked like he was about 1 foot in the fucking grave
Mm-hmm.
back then, and he was the oldest, but only by a few years.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yo,
all
Jack
those guys.
Stu did not look like a spring fucking chicken.
No, he died
No.
in the middle of fucking season
You know what I mean?
3 or
Like
something.
Ron did. Wojo did. Those guys were all young. What's his name? The Puerto Rican guy that came in about the last third of the show.
Yep.
He was younger too, but those original guys like Barney Miller, he was like 46 when that show started.
Yeah, but when you and I were kids, the three of us were
That was
kids.
later in Hal Linden's career.
But
Mhm.
when you and I were, when the three of us were kids, he like was really old. We thought of him as like grandpa old.
Oh yeah, look at baseball players. I love to look at pictures of say like the when Mattingly won the MVP award and they have his picture and whatever. I thought he was in his 30s. No, he was barely 30. Then when he retired, he still looked young because we kind of grew up watching his face. I see a picture of him now, with the exception of the gray hair. He still looks like Don fucking Mattingly from the 80s and 90s. But you're right; it's perception of youth.
Yeah, there's a batch of guys like that. See, people who are like 10 to 15 years older than us, when we were watching them at 10 years old, they seemed to us, like from our perspective, a lot older than us.
Right. Well, think about it. When you were 10,
Yeah, like I thought John Schneider was in his 70s, for Christ's sake. I aged him almost to death.
you know what I mean? Like, think about if you were
10,
think about if you were like 8 to 10 years old and you had an older sister that was in college and had 23, 24-year-old friends. They were old to you. They were old as shit.
Yep.
Like, they're old and your parents are like really old, and then your grandparents are like ancient, but
Mega old.
that was 10 years older than you when
He's super fucking
they
old.
were old. But now
My grandmother.
it's only 10 years. They're only 65.
Right. My grandmother was my age when I was born. My grandmother was 52 when I was born. And she looked ancient.
Right. When you were 6, you were like, she is just old.
Don't forget those shows were on for years. They also aged in front of us, so you don't really notice. That's a good point. You can go back to anything. When we talk about Ozzy, this is something I wanted to bring up because I don't think Oz changed facially from 95 till yesterday. You look at Derek Jeter when he came up to when he retired, with the exception of putting on a couple pounds, he looked the same. And that's to Lindsay's point. They age in front of your eyes.
Well, that's why, like, when
but you also remember that at that age, if we showed you pictures of 25, 35, 45, 55, and 65-year-olds, when we were 8 to 10, after 30, you got nothing. You got nothing because you can't. You're no good. At our age, we look at all those progressive pictures spread out of Jeter, and we can look because we have learned and we know and have lived through the things that happen to a man's face and his jawline when he ages. Well, you start to notice as people when they've lost. He doesn't look like a boy anymore. He looks like a grown man. And it's only as you get older and start to live through seeing yourself do that you get better at picking out ages of younger people.
Unless you're like my wife, who looks exactly the way she looks now, like exactly like the way when I met her.
Well, that's
exactly.
Well, that's
I, on the other hand, age like fucking milk.
That's my wife from junior high school. Only the hair is just gray now.
Right.
Instead of blonde. It's just a different shade of light.
Megan's still natural hair color.
Same.
Pisses me off.
It's the same. She looks the same as she did 35 years ago.
That is a good point, too, on your wife. Both your wives aged gorgeously. Thank God I don't have one, because she'd probably look like Estelle Getty right now.
You'd be all right with that.
Maybe. Lee's in the comment section.
I mean, not like Estelle Getty now, because ew.
Yeah, because that's, what do they call that? Decomposed.
Necrophilic.
Maybe. Lee's in the comment section. He says, am I wild to say that Hulk Hogan could be the number 3 in the rule of bad things that happen in 3? Yeah, I was curious about that. I just went to the Google machine.
You really think that's a bad thing? I'm just saying.
Does
the world need that anymore? I mean,
no, but again, it goes back. It goes back to our childhood is passing away little by little by little every day. We talk about it so often. It seems, and some of the bigger ones, like today, obviously Malcolm Jamal Warner, huge part of everybody's childhood. Ozzy Osbourne, huge part of everybody's childhood. And we're not going to sit here and go boohoo and gee, really going to miss Oz. Just want to look back, and even with Malcolm Jamal Warner, look back and celebrate the things that they did. I certainly did not sit and cry my eyes out. I listened to some Oz today, some deep tracks. I always have Ozzy on the rotation. I'm gonna have to go see if Malcolm Jamal Warner had anything that was out there to listen to. It's got to be on YouTube. I want to hear what he did with the jazz musician stuff.
I'm sure. Yeah, go do the YouTube route. I find so many bands. Or just like local artists, they're fucking amazing. Amazing. They should be hits.
Now, I did a little digging after last week's show, and I may have to issue an apology to Sharon Osbourne, because I had heard the interview and read the statement from Oz, who, in case you guys are living under a rock, Ozzy passed away earlier today at the age of 76. He begged for that show. And it took a year of Sharon and Tom Morello to put that gig together. And I guess I owe that woman an apology. I thought that was her putting him out there, money grab. He did look feeble. We all knew. I said it to somebody like this today. His punch card was full between, drugs and alcohol and accidents and Parkinson's. But he kept finding more spots to punch on the card. He could have gotten 3 free meals at Panda Express with that fucking card.
Oh, 2 for 1 for me.
He outkicked his coverage easily by 15 years.
Yeah. You could say that. You could definitely say that.
When you look at some of these guys, we watched Ozzy in decline, but facially he didn't look different. His gait was different. His posture was different. Obviously his speaking voice was different.
Rewatching those YouTube videos that you sent me and I found, you could see something in his face was different. He was very puffy.
Yeah.
His eyes were very, very sunken. And with other friends outside of you guys, I was in a Facebook chat with him. And
what happened with her? Oh, there he is.
I said, they're talking about the concert. I said, I'm doing the over-under. I said, he don't make it the month. They're like, oh, fuck you. You're going to curse him. Oops. Yep. Sorry.
Good job. Lynch killed Ozzy. New film at 11.
My fault.
Film at 11.
My fault.
He'll be on Channel 3 tomorrow.
I was laughing. I was laughing.
Okay.
Well, because Lynch said his face was all puffy, and I was like, "What? Like covered in baby oil? Like?"
Oh God.
No, that's Diddy.
Well, see, but well, that's what he's calling now. But the Gulf of America, I call him puffy. So
Yeah. Mama call him Clay.
I'm gonna call him Clay.
I'ma call him Clay.
Mama call him
Baby Oil Jones.
Mama call him Puppy. I'm gonna call him Puppy.
My name is Baby Oil Jones.
That's right.
So I was curious, because look,
Curious.
maybe a couple weeks ago we talked a little about Ozzy. We did a heavy metal episode some time ago. We talked about Ozzy on the wrestling episode. Do you remember the first time you saw Oz, whether it was on television, in a magazine, live and in living color at a show?
First time I ever saw Ozzy, well, Black Sabbath. I saw Black Sabbath on television. I was young. So remember when they used to actually have music videos on like public television and shit before MTV from overseas, from the BBC? That was my first exposure. I think it was like Paranoid, or I don't know, maybe it was Black Sabbath. But then, I got a little older. My dad kind of evolved with Sabbath onto Ozzy. He didn't enjoy the Dio years, but he followed Ozzy on his trajectory, and so I picked up on it, of course, and I became one of my favorite metal guys. First time I ever saw him, 97, when they were touring as Ozzy.
Jesus.
In New Haven.
Wait, I thought you were at the same Metallica show I was. Metallica was opening for Oz.
Maybe that was it.
86, Master of Puppets, just before Cliff died.
Yes, I was there.
That's right. You're so old you can't even remember what you did.
Holy shit.
President Biden, would you
Listen.
Hey, Lynch beat Medicare.
I walk out of the room. By the time I get from my chair to that door over there, you see that door right there?
I see it.
Halfway there, or maybe even a quarter sometimes. Why the fuck did I get up? What am I looking for? And whose pants are these? Whose pants are these?
He's going to stroke out. And it's going to be on camera.
We're going to do it.
Will this get me canceled?
We're going to play I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You in the background.
Oh, I'll line that right up. Hold on.
There you go. Mine was weird. I had heard
Comfortably Numb coming up.
There you go. I had heard Oz. I had heard Sabbath. 1983, destination viewing in our house on a Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Channel 10 was solid gold. And
yes,
the strangest guest ever tonight. I couldn't tell you who else performed. For all I know, it was Crystal Gale and Sheena Easton, but Ozzy was going to be on.
Ooh,
and I had heard Crazy Train. It was all over the radio, obviously, the year prior, 2 years prior. And here comes Oz doing Bark at the Moon. Lip sync job, of course. And 2 days later, we're at Caldor in Norwich, and I bought Bark at the Moon. That was the first time I saw him on television. And, dude, the music, there was something about Oz. It was the rumors, basically. Especially the little old ladies in the neighborhood see you wearing when you go to the country fair and they have all the band T-shirts that are really poorly made. And you're wearing an Ozzy T-shirt. Don't you know Ozzy sends puppies out into the crowd, and if they don't come back dead, he don't perform, and he leaves you there, and then you'll never see him again. Shut up, bitch. Shut up.
I know. Where do you think I got my socks?
In the sock drawer with all the money.
Don't you know that before the show, Ozzy Osbourne kills a goat and drinks its blood, and that gives him power? Shut up, bitch. The rumors were the best part because it was pre-internet. Nowadays, everybody believes the rumors, and the news is a fucking conspiracy theory. But, man, hearing some of that shit back in the day, I always thought the bat was a rumor until, MTV started to bubble, and you got those half-hour interviews.
Then you get older and learn he was coked out of his fucking
mind. Of course.
Well, and also,
he thought
it was fake.
Bat. He thought it was the rubber.
He thought it was a fake bat.
Somebody threw a real one.
Yeah.
He just kept he just kept it going.
The
But
best story, I think it was on Behind the Music. The dove, his wife was like, go into the meeting and it's the beginning of your new career and release these 2 doves. And everyone will go, oh, well, he took them out and he opened his hands and one flew and one hit the deck.
One dropped
and he
dead.
picked it up. Well, it wasn't dead yet. It just didn't decide to go. And he just crunch, bit the head off the dove. I'm thinking, dude, they say there's no such thing as bad press. For him, that was true. All the stupid shit he did over the years. But
pissing on the Alamo wearing one of his wife's sundresses.
Yes.
I mean,
out looking for drugs. At the pool.
Absolutely out of his fucking
Motley.
mind.
At the pool with Motley, sniffing ants, doing the who can do the sickest thing contest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. I mean, the guy is legendary.
Yep. Seeing that Ozzy show in '86 was great, but I thought '88 was better. No Rest for the Wicked. First tour with Zach, and I'm never going to say a bad word about Zakk Wylde ever. Dude could push me down a flight of stairs, and I would love him anyway. Ozzy comes roaring out. The band's playing, and he takes this bucket of water, and he drenches whoever he can reach with the bucket of water. And he goes and gets another bucket. He drenches himself. He does the Ozzy pose. Let the madness begin! And he had so much energy. And I was like, dude, again, to Lynch's and Herm's point, when you're a kid, you think these guys are already 40, 50 years old. I pointed up and I said, when I grow up, I'll be just like him. I want that energy. I want that crazy passion for whatever I'm doing.
Well, I'm glad to have seen him throughout his various periods of his career, early on to midpoint to his revitalization in the mid '90s with that little hit he had with what's her name,
Lita.
Yeah, that was huge.
Nope.
That reignited his career.
Yeah. Oh well, that was in the late '80s.
And then
that was.
And then leading into No More Tears. Oof.
Yep, that's really where
the entire album is basically it's a greatest hits album.
Oh yeah, and seeing him on that tour,
I love Zakk Wylde in that band. I really, 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 really gained a big appreciation for Zakk Wylde in that band. Zakk
Wylde can play anything, and I would love it. And it put Zakk Wylde and Ozzy Osbourne together, and Ozzy Osbourne sings the Menuet Kingwa, and I'm going to buy it. It doesn't matter. That voice, the power.
Mr. Pan, you have pork fried rice. Dun, dun, dun,
the last time I saw Oz,
3 egg rolls
was either 93 or 94 when he claimed he was retiring. And I spent, at the time, now it'd be like a drop in the bucket. Now it's called a concert ticket. I spent disgusting amounts of money to be third row for No More Tours. And 2 years later, Osmosis came out and he's back on the road. And I vowed I would never go see Ozzy again. Did I miss much? No, because I got 3 of the craziest concerts that I ever saw. Some of the best concerts I ever saw with, 86 Ultimate Sin Tour, No Rest for the Wicked Tour, and the No More Tears / No More Tours Tour. Do I need to see him again? No. But was he I don't want to steal a line from our friend Jim Lalamere. I'll expand it. Is he on my top 10? Today, tomorrow, and every day.
Yeah.
As far as a singer, a performer, you name it. Ozzy his book was incredible. Somebody else wrote it because Ozzy was never that clear in his diction. That book would have been filled with, Sharon.
Yeah, but some of the people who come across that like through verbally are very articulate motherfuckers when they type and write.
Yeah, I could see that.
There's a lot of just. I mean, I stumble a lot because I'm thinking like 16 things ahead of where I'm trying to concentrate now. I'm thinking, what are we doing in like 2 minutes from here? Oh, wait, back it up, Lynch. You're here now. Yep. We're talking about Ozzy.
I got to know which song you're talking about, Lindsay. I'm racking my head. She said he's the only guy who could pull off singing about being a serial prostitute killer.
I was wondering the same thing.
Was that Little Dolls?
I think so.
I think it is. It could be Little Dolls. Lindsay's going to come into the comment
Little
section.
Dolls.
No, that you're singing Mr. Crowley with the lyrics to Little Dolls. What is wrong with you?
Little Dolls.
I think it
Ozzy.
is Little Dolls.
I'm hitting right there.
Lynch has already got the Ozzy filter for his voice on.
Oh man, come on!
No more tears. Wait, no more tears. No, come on.
I hate these.
There's no way No More Tears is about being a serial prostitute killer. I'm getting the lyrics right now. We are going to settle this today. It was a song about a serial killer, but it doesn't say anything about prostitutes.
Nowhere to run, your fate is in his hands. Your time has come, you'll live to his command. I'm warning you, the worst yet to come, the killer remains the mystery. Rising and screaming at the pain just won't go. He'll show you no mercy, your image in his hands. It's useless to try to escaping his curses. So that's the Little Dolls lyrics.
Yeah,
yes.
This is No More Tears. It is about a serial killer and his victims, but it's the lyrics describe as Ozzy said, he confirmed it. The song is about the killer's perspective on his victims, and Ozzy wrote it while in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The lyrics describe the chilling actions of a stalker and the impending doom of the victim, culminating.
I can understand why.
Tears line.
You ever been to Albuquerque? Albuquerque?
Yeah, it's like 4 hours away.
Right?
I know, for you.
The second verse of Little Dolls, tortured and flaming, you'll give birth to hell, living a nightmare. Feelings of pity, you'll pray for your death, but he's in no hurry. I could see that being a song about, somebody killing a prostitute. But man, when No More Tears,
it's a family tune. It's a family tune.
It's the same fucking fish.
It's the same fish.
Jack, it's the same fucking fish. Anybody who doesn't know that reference, go find the old Osbourne's reality show when Jack took Ozzy fishing on the San Francisco Bay. You will never laugh harder in your life at someone.
When that first came out, I thought it was pretty entertaining. Like the first semi-season premiere, that first 4 or 5 episodes, where it was just really raw. Everything looked kind of raw. I love those.
Where they threw the dog shit and a whole ham over the fence because their neighbors was pissing them off.
Yeah, shit like that. I mean, I can actually see that going on. Remove the cameras, and if you heard that story, you'd be, that happened.
Yeah, that sounds like Ozzy.
Yeah, that's him.
In those first episodes when he's walking through the house and all of Sharon's little ankle biters are running around, and every 5 feet he runs into a turd. It's like, fucking dog shit. How much? And he's following this one dog, and he thinks the one dog shit everywhere. How much can this dog shit? He's been
no shit. They had like 18 of those little fucking ankle biters or something like that. Oh,
something like that. Okay, Lindsay comes back with the red light goes on and it's time to begin. Okay, we're not gonna. I appreciate. I'm gonna listen to both songs back to back after Speedway tonight. By the way, watch Speedway review at 8:00, and I'm really gonna dive into these 2 songs and.
Yeah, and Ozzy's confirmed. Ozzy is what I can find. Ozzy's best, clearest definition for Little Dolls is, it's more of exacting pain and revenge on your victim through voodoo.
Ooh, okay. So Lindsay might win the day on this one. She often does. Congratulations, Mayor.
Oh, did we talk? Did we talk about the Coldplay Kiss Cam at all last week?
No, because it hadn't happened yet.
That's right.
Give us a few minutes. We'll get there. I got some thoughts on that. And then you got your Superman movie review.
Yes. It's actually a positive review.
Yep. During my insomnia in the last couple of days, I went back and watched some of our old stuff. Herm, to his credit, had Blizzard of Oz as one of his top metal albums of all time.
Yep.
And I didn't argue it. I mean, yes, people called Ozzy the godfather of modern metal, which I'm not going to argue with, because where metal started with Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, bands like that. Then in the 80s, all the headbanger shows, Ozzy was all over them. And it was Herm who said during that episode, we don't need 400 subgenres of metal. There's metal, there's rock and roll, there's hard rock, there's soft rock, there's jazz, there's this. Metal is metal is metal. While Poison might not be metal, Ozzy is. That's my opinion.
Well, see, that's why they needed those subcategories. Because what happens when a business like that gets crowded? We do just like we do now. We submit to people's whims. Okay, now you're a soft metal band, and it's a category now.
I'm new metal.
Yeah, you're new metal. You're screamo. You're emo.
I'm metal. Here's my favorite.
My God.
Metalcore. Metalcore.
Metal's,
what the fuck?
Metal is metal. It's just varying degrees of metal. But then there are extremes. There's extreme, and then there's like death metal.
Mm-hmm.
Like Norwegian
black metal.
That shit is fucking dark.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Fuck off. A potato's a potato. Fuck off. It doesn't matter.
Agreed.
Purple, green, red. Fuck that. Fuck that.
What did you serve me? Potatoes.
Potatoes. Doesn't matter what color, where they're from. German, Latvian, your mom's ass. It's a fucking
metal.
potato.
It's metal.
I told you not to tell that story out loud.
And it's not really.
Wait, you fucked a potato?
No, my mom gave birth to potatoes out of her ass.
Generations younger than us.
Where was I?
Need to subcategorize so specifically.
Oh yeah,
I was one of the potatoes.
Like rock and roll. All right, guys, I'll let you break it down. Here it goes. Hard rock, soft rock. That's it. That's all you get.
Mm-hmm. Look at it this way.
I'll even let you take pop rock.
In the 90s, we had alternative. You know what they call it now? Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Like alternative, and the term encompassed anything that wasn't specifically pop, country.
Herm, you were sometimes a WAAF guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I know Lynch
rock
was
blocks on Sundays. Hell yeah.
Right. You could hear in the 90s, at the time when both of these songs came out, Perry Mason, which is one of my top 5 Ozzy songs of all time, newly released around 95, 96,
right, and
Life of Agony, Weeds, played back to back, and you just think, this is some killer rock and roll. I didn't sit there going, how dare you play heavy metal and alternative back to back? I could give a fuck. Soundgarden rocks just the same as Van Halen.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah, and you could get some funky stuff bleeding into alternative that you didn't think WAAF would do. You could hear Adam Ant creep in just at the right time and the right bit. Just because there was guitar and it was alternative, you could hear it in like just the right time on the right show. And the rest of the time you're like, nobody gave a shit when it came on either, because it wasn't your mom's fucking music.
Right. Back when jocks had the ability to play whatever they wanted and everything wasn't, you have to play these 6 particular.
Liked everything. No, I love this tune. We're ripping it.
You could hear back to back Man on the Silver Mountain from the Dio Greatest Hits album. I'm not talking about the rainbow version.
Yep.
And then hear Detachable Penis. And then hear
like Something by Mountain.
Yeah.
And then hear like Molly Hatchet.
West.
And then hear Molly Hatchet.
Right. And then you know what they follow that up with? Anthrax.
It all fell under the same big umbrella, and we didn't care because it all rocked.
The only time we cared was if they played Rush. That's it. Off.
Well, see, this is what happened. Is like the 50s and 60s were pretty straightforward. Rock and roll was rock and roll. Yeah. And there was rock and roll and everything else.
It was 4/4,
jazz blues.
There is to it. It's a 4/4 blues riff. Let's go.
3 to 4 chords and a drop backbeat. Boom. That's rock and roll. Then you had your blues and you had your jazz and then country western and classical. And then things started changing with the Brits in the late 50s into the 60s. Then there was the Brit invasion from Brit to America in the mid to late 60s. Then the first wave of new wave of British heavy metal, Judas Priest, shit like that.
Maiden.
So there were so many different categories of everything now, where if what used to be metal When I heard Quiet Riot, that was metal.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, that was metal. That was very hardcore. Hearing
Yeah.
it now compared to what metal has become, it's like pop radio.
Same with Twisted. Herm, can you put up Lindsay's last comment just for the fun of it?
Oh, shut up.
The world is against you, Senor Lynch.
See? That's okay. You can hate
No,
Rush.
no word
okay.
if there's
I
no
still love
word
you.
if that's
We
okay.
still love you. I
There's
still
no
love you. It's
word.
okay.
There's
I
no
always
word.
clarify that statement, not to interrupt
What?
him and have him say there's no word like another 17
No,
times.
no. It was a different anti-Lynch subject. I was just like, there's no word if Ozzy Osbourne actually believed in Joe Hendry.
Right?
Go ahead, make your Rush point because you make it every fucking time.
I would like to clarify, like, it's not Rush that we hate.
It's Geddy Lee.
It's
Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee's voice. We
Music is tight as shit.
music is tight as shit. If you like I've told the guys before, if you use some of my DJ software, the STEM software, and pull his lyrics out and literally make all of their tracks instrumentals, they're fucking amazing.
You want to even go back? You want to go back a little further
Amazing.
into the show where
You
we
can totally
originally
deep
spoke
dive
about that?
any Rush song that way, and you're like, this shit just fucking sounds fresh.
If you go back into our history and we said, who would you have replace Geddy Lee? One of us said Ozzy. I can't remember who. Ozzy would have made that band. A bunch of different singers. Dio would have made Rush amazing. Lindsay, only rock concert I've ever seen that the only rock concert I ever fell asleep at and not be under the influence of anything.
Who?
Rush.
Rush?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was the Grateful Dead for me, man. I've been
Really?
to one Dead. I went to one Dead show. I'm like, this is fucking boring.
I fell asleep
I
at a
gotta
country
go.
show.
Oh, you're
I
not
gotta
a Jam
go.
Band fan, huh?
I think at about hour 3, I was like, we get the point.
What were you on?
I was high as a fucking kite.
There's a surprise.
Just smoking weed?
There may have been other.
I was gonna say you
There
got
may have been other ingredients.
psychedelics and some heavy,
I'm trying,
some cooler
I'm trying to think
shit
of what. I'm trying to think of
at a
what the
fucking Dead
what the
concert.
rest of.
I mean, like
I was
I went to fish
yeah,
and inhaled half a tank of nitrous.
I was 18 years old, so I was already out of high school, in college, and I went because the girl I was with at the time really wanted to go. You know, it was a guaranteed. I'm going to get laid that weekend, so fuck, of course I'll go.
Yeah, those don't usually work out that well.
So I was really into weed. I did shrooms, so it probably have been shrooms and weed. And I was like, dude, I gotta go. And of course, you know, hardcore deadhead that she fucking fell asleep.
Oh, wonderful.
I wander off for like 2 hours. I come back, she's still on her sweatshirt. I'm like, Wendy, get up. Huh? Get up. We gotta go.
Nah, she's napping for the late night round 2, baby.
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh,
She's napping for
No.
the late night round 2.
I wanted to get back to the hotel or at least the station wagon to get a little.
Nah, man. Jerry Garcia's gonna come up here and say hello, man.
She wakes up
No.
for round 2 and kicks
No.
in. She'd be good to go. I'm telling you,
I bought Jerry Garcia in a bag.
festival girls are good to go once the sun
I-
goes down.
I got to get me a piece before I go to sleep.
Oh my lord. Who told you that was Jerry Garcia in a bag? His brother, Barry Garcia.
Yeah. Jerry Garcia with a CH.
Anybody who can
That's
tell
it.
me what movie that comes from wins a free week stay in Lynch's beard.
Oh, I have plenty of room. Look,
Of course there is.
I can make more. I can make more room.
Oh, there's a story. The only good thing that happened at the Rush concert was the fight a couple had next to us. He stomped off, and the girlfriend gave me his huge bag of weed. Jesus Christ. I love it.
Hey, you know what? That's a win-win.
You got any rolling babies? Oh, that wasn't the Ozzy show. I forgot. Still my favorite concert story of all time. The rolling papers guy outside the Ozzy show. Oh,
Got any
fuck.
rolling papers?
All right.
Anything
Give
can
me-
be rolling paper.
That's true. Lynch, give me 2 songs. You can combine Black Sabbath and Ozzy, or you can go separate. 2 songs that define Ozzy to you.
War Pigs and Crazy Train.
Okay. Harm. Somebody says Ozzy Osbourne. First gun to your head. First 2 songs that pop into your head.
Mr. Crowley.
Nice. Dead Air is a killer.
I know it is, and they can fuck it.
We'll fix it in post.
Right.
Wait, what?
Chop
What?
it up in post.
The fuck we are.
Nice. Now, the reason I asked you 2 ahead of time, because I'm herming it, and I'm allowed. I get 2
fuck
from
you.
Sabbath, 2 from Oz. With Sabbath,
you.
it's Nativity in Black
Mhm.
and Sweet Leaf. Amazing tunes. For the Ozzy side, one is mid Ozzy solo, one is later Ozzy solo. Ultimate Sin. There's just a power to it. What up, Cobber? Kahuna's in the comment section all the way from Australia. So yeah, the
Nice,
Ultimate
bro.
Sin, and I'm gonna go with it's not a hugely popular song in his catalog, but it's Perry Mason.
Yeah.
And I would give an honorable mention to Walk on Water.
Now here's the thing. You can't pick 2 of any category, either Sabbath or Ozzy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pick 2 songs that are going to be shit.
That's a good point, and that was something I wanted to
Because
bring up. But since
Most of Ozzy's solo stuff, Ultimate Sin, not a bad track on that album.
all killer, no filler.
No More Tears.
All killer,
Not a-
no filler.
He's like to me, he's like the savant genius.
Good night, Lindsay. Lindsay's got
I know.
to take her leave from us.
Have a good night. Thank you for watching, Lindsay. Because he did get help writing songs,
Mm-hmm. Of course, Lemmy
But-
wrote half of the No More Tears album.
but I think a lot of his arrangements and how he heard things in his head, his solo stuff is consistent in style and sound.
I have a theory about that. In Sabbath, it was the band and Ozzy was part.
Right.
Ozzy solo, you get the right musicians around you, and they're going to play to your strengths. And again, you can go through the catalog and maybe pick out 5 stinkers over a 12 album solo career. Mostly killer, little filler. They played to his strength, and they played to his voice. It wasn't like, you could have Peter Steele sing anything if he was still alive in the Sabbath catalog, and it would sound like Sabbath. You couldn't do that with a lot of other singers, but Ozzy solo, they played to his strength. That's my theory.
No, that's a very good theory. I mean, well, he had an ear because he heard Zakk Wylde by accident. He heard Jakey Lee through other channels. He heard of Randy Rhoads and I like that guy.
Well, Brad Gillis, who took over that little spot between
Right.
Randy and Jake,
Right.
Brad Gillis was in another band. And he's like, I bet he could play his ass off. Bring him in.
Yeah.
And think about the guitarists that have walked through those doors. And they're the 3 names you mentioned, 3 of the biggest guitar heroes in history. Randy Rhoads, Jakey Lee,
Yep.
Zakk Wylde.
Yep.
Doesn't get much better than that.
And
you're
to
right.
me, when I look at my metal icon guitarists, those are that's like my Mount Rushmore, basically.
Pretty close to mine. Yeah, Zach is always good. Zach, Dime, Eddie. The 4th position is interchangeable.
Yeah. Because you and I, we were talking about Pantera not that long ago, and
Yes.
how that sound influenced so many metal bands. And I was listening to Slipknot the other night. They're like, if you for 1 second would say or deny that they were not fans of Dimebag Daryl, you're out of your fucking mind.
Oh yeah.
Because there's his fingerprints all over, his DNA's all over those songs.
You know, anybody who uses the drop D tuner and the I don't know who makes it, the oh god, it's something Stein, not Frankenstein, but like Krankenstein.
Yeah,
the Krankenstein. Yeah,
Fuzzbox.
Yeah, thank you, the Fuzzbox. That Dimebag helped create that. So when you hear that crunch in drop D, and it's got that thickness to it, and it sounds like you got two guitarists mimicking each other. No, it's one guy.
Yep.
He's playing the exact way Dime did. You're right. His fingerprints are everywhere. Same with Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads and Eddie Van Halen basically rewrote the guidebook for everybody. You wouldn't have had Malmsteen if it wasn't for Eddie or Randy Rhoads. You wouldn't have had Steve Vai if it wasn't for Eddie or Randy Rhoads.
Malmsteen, I'll take him to leave him. Some of his music was okay. He's a grandstander,
of course.
Mm-hmm. You know, neoclassical guitarists always have.
You ever see him live?
No.
Good.
I never saw him live. I had the opportunity to.
Jim and I went to. It was Dio, Doro Pesh, and Yngwie Malmsteen.
That was like 88, 89, right?
No, this was like 2000 something. A couple years before Dio died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Masters of the Moon Tour. It was actually on my birthday.
Because when he was making his, because that like sounds like that would have been the headlining tour of 88, 89.
Yep, it was the Masters of the Moon Tour, whatever year that album came out. Dio.
Yes, 2000s.
Yeah, so Yngwie's the opener. Thank God. 30 minutes. He played 4 tunes. The rest of the time, he's just whatever.
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that in small doses.
Yeah,
Dream
sing
Theater.
Sing the fucking hit.
Give me a 9-minute song that's fucking tight musically. I'm happy.
Right. And then you're watching Doro sing stuff like All We Are and things like that, and it's 3.5, 4.5 minutes, and you're out, and then Dio comes out and just lights the place on fire. Amazing. But yeah, Malmsteen, there was a rumor years back that when Zakk Wylde went away from Ozzy for 2-3 years to start Pride and Glory and later BLS, that he was going to recruit Malmsteen. I'm like, please don't. Please do not get Yngwie Malmsteen to play with Ozzy Osbourne. That would ruin it.
It was rumored.
That would have ruined.
They never would have collaborated together very well.
No. It would have lasted 3 weeks and Sharon would have stabbed him in the eye.
Yeah, absolutely, because you can't tell. Malmsteen's one of those guys you can't say no to. You can't. He doesn't know the definition of the word no.
Mm-hmm. That's why his albums in big letters say Yngwie Malmsteen, and underneath it says Rising Force.
Right.
Now, you do that in reverse, Rising Force, featuring Yngwie Malmsteen. It shows you've got a little bit of humility. Some bands have to do that featuring thing to get noticed.
Ying Bang Malmsteen. You know that guy, Ying Bang. Ying Bang. Yes,
Wingy.
Thank you for the Ying Bang. Wingy.
I forget who it was. Some girlfriend of mine back in the late 80s, early 90s was going through my tape collection. What's a Wingy Malmsteen? I'm like,
what's a canoe? What's a canoe when Malmsteen?
Right? Sit down and shut up. But then I played Heaven Tonight, and she's like, oh, this is fun. I'm like, yeah, this is the only good album back to front that Yngwie's ever made.
I like Nwingy. I like
Nwingy, yes.
I'm going to use that from now on.
Nwingy.
Malmsteen.
But Steve Vai was fucking. He's an incredible guitarist. I mean, he worked.
Yeah, but
Frank
you remember when he joined? Remember when he joined Whitesnake for a cup of coffee? It fit musically, but ego, you can't have it.
Big ego clash. He's another one, but he's not as much of an overt asshole.
No, but you take a guy like Satriani, who joined up with Chickenfoot, Sammy Hagar's project, and it fits like a glove.
Yeah, I mean those guys. I can appreciate the instrumentals, but they're tight 3-4 minutes long.
Yep.
Not these 20-minute grandstanding bullshit classical music on guitar. Ying wing, wang wang.
What did he
Wants
call
to
him?
play.
Inwingy?
Inwingy.
Wingy.
Inwingy Momstein. Yeah,
Like,
that
Wiki,
poop stain.
but different.
That poop stain.
Yeah, we collectively, Eddie, that was out of nowhere, but Ozzy, to quote a few people on my Facebook today, we were actually watching his death in real time. So while this did suck, I don't think any one of us is going to lock ourselves in a room and listen to Diary of a Madman and cry our eyes out. But it does suck that Oz is gone. I feel bad. I feel bad for his children, for his wife, but you know what I feel worse for is that little girl, Jack's daughter, who thought Ozzy, not to be puntastic, thought Oz walked on water.
Yeah.
There's a video I shared with Emma one time of Jack Osborne sitting on his couch, and the little girl had to have been about a year and a half old, and he's playing an Ozzy video, and she's losing her shit. It's Papa. It's Papa. Papa's on TV. And he's singing Bark at the Moon. And he's got the evil Ozzy face, and he's, Arr! And she doesn't care. It's Papa. Papa's on TV. That's the person that I feel the worst for, is that little girl, because losing your parents, yes, it sucks. We all know what that's like. All three of us. Losing a grandparent, that's like one of your first heroes, is a grandparent. Doesn't matter which one. We all had that one grandparent where we go, that was my guiding light.
Yeah.
And when you're that little, I mean, Emma was 16 when my dad passed. So she was, a little bit more feet on the ground. If this would have happened, if that had happened when she was 4, I'd be paying out the wazoo in therapy for the next 25 years. But yeah, I feel bad for that little girl. I feel bad for the whole family, but that little girl more importantly. Because you see those videos of him or the pictures of him in his last couple years, whenever they show something like on people.com or whatever, who's standing or sitting or hanging with him? That little girl.
Mm. Yeah, it sucks.
So,
I mean,
yeah, I feel bad for her. I feel bad for the rock world in general.
Malcolm Jamal Warner is it's a super tragic story.
Oh, yeah.
Accidental drowning. One of the worst ways to go. And there with his family on vacation. I mean, Jesus Christ.
It's one of my biggest fears is drowning.
Yeah.
You get burned in a fire, you're like, yeah, if you get burned in a fire, you're like, well, this is it.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
But, I kind of knew this was coming because it might, like I said, I made that statement. I give it a month. I give it the end of the month. I didn't share that with you guys. I probably should have, but I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be that guy I didn't want to be that guy in our thread.
I got 54 minutes to Louis Anderson from me going, Louis Anderson's not too good. He's probably,
yeah.
I'm going to go back to Lee's comment.
Louis Anderson was dead. I'm just saying.
I'll go back to Lee's comment about Hulk Hogan. I didn't believe a lot of the stuff that's been coming out in the last week. And then the last 2 days, major media outlets are reporting this stuff about Hulk, that he's not in good shape. He had some sort of medical incident where now he can't even speak. Dude's 72, 73 years old, not too far from Oz.
That sounds like a blessing, like something the Lord did. If he's not able to speak, I'm just saying. He's been yapping for a long time.
I just want one more brother. That's it.
Brother, there it is.
The priest comes in, gives the last rites, and as he's about to, brother,
lay it on me, brother.
What you gonna do?
Step into a Slim Jim.
That was Macho Man, damn it.
Wrong dude, sorry.
Hulk was 1-800-COLLECT or 1010-220 or one of those stupid.
I want to smack Randy McIlroy's ass.
One more time.
Again.
Right?
For the first time. Again.
Oh,
one more
fuck.
Time. Yeah.
The first time ever again.
All right, last Ozzy question, then I want to hear your movie review.
Go ahead.
Alien comes from outer space, lands in your front yard, and has a little placard because they don't speak English, but they can write in my world. Shut up. It's my book. I can write it the way I want.
All right, it's your delusion. Let's go.
Correct. and it said, "Teach me about Ozzy." What's the one song you play that encapsulates Ozzy? Not your favorite, but what is that one punch him in the mouth song? Whether it's Sabbath, Ozzy, whatever.
War Pigs
Nice.
or Changes.
Man, why you got to bring up Changes?
Changes.
That would
And
never
I-
be my. Go ahead.
Well, because I hear that song covered a million ways a Sunday, and I only ever hear it in Ozzy's voice.
Right. The one he did with his daughter, fantastic. The one he did at the last show in '93, where Zach was playing piano. That's a gorgeous version. But all right, I'll give you.
But, I mean, other artists cover that all the time. But anytime I hear another artist cover it, I can't hear them. I hear Ozzy singing it in my head.
Okay, that's
to me,
fair.
it's iconic. To me, it's iconic.
All right, what's your punch him in the face? This is Ozzy Osbourne's song, Herm.
I mean, just one of the two I said before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, doesn't really matter. Pick one.
All right, I'm going to go with
First of all,
one I have.
First of all, does this alien have papers? Second of all,
we don't know, but we didn't call ICE.
Has he reported himself to ICE yet? Because I
Well, no, because
associate with it.
I declare myself an alien.
Right, then I'm going to have to arrest him under.
Okay,
I'm going to have to arrest him.
He just landed on your lawn. He hasn't had a chance to file his papers.
Okay,
he wants to know about Ozzy
he's
first.
Probably shot then if he just straight up landed on my front lawn.
Obviously, he wants to assimilate. He's asking about Ozzy.
He should
like to cook
and not just opened up and walked out. You know.
Hey, you like to cook?
Made an announcement. We're heavily.
You like hamburgers?
Oh God.
Why
we can't have nice things
here? And we're a little disgruntled right now because of the heat and the AC. So he is in a bad spot.
Immediately,
don't go to that guy's yard. Don't go to that guy's yard. He's angry.
All right, I'm just going to get it out before you two ruin it for everybody. I'm going to go with one I haven't mentioned. Miracle Man. Thick guitar, thumping bass, badass drums, and Ozzy singing about a preacher that just wants your money and gets caught with hookers. And there's something about Oz. The stuff he wrote, whether he had co-writers or not, in a way was kind of a wink and a nod to not so much his debauchery, because his debauchery has been widely and publicly reported, but to the debauchery of the society itself. Whether it's Miracle Man, Flying High Again, I don't know. Mr. Crowley, going way back to point out Aleister Crowley's debauchery. It was always a wink and a nod to something. He wasn't political, but he had his thumb on the pulse. And I think Miracle Man showed that more than anything.
No,
plus that solo. Oh,
I mean, if knowing the context, "Mama, I'm Coming Home" is probably a good choice too. But you have to know where he was and why he wrote that song mentally. I mean, that was his ode to Sharon. That I need help. And that was his way of saying, I'm sorry.
Yep.
And
co-written by God himself, Lemmy Kilmister.
Lemmy Kilmister. That song meant a lot to him. But if you don't know that, and you hear that song for the first time ever in forever or ever in the history of ever, you know it's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that prejudice of knowing it's already knowing it's a good fucking song.
I think it's appropriate that the last song he ever performed live in front of people was that song. Very appropriate.
I and prophetic. it's a sad day. It's a sad day in metal. I mean, the outpouring was immediate.
Oh yeah.
Like from
Anthrax, Metallica, Paul Stanley. I saw Zach Wilde. I've not seen anything from yet.
For the first time in almost a very long time, when I was scrolling through my Facebook feed, it was nothing. Everyone was posted. Ozzy, 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 Ozzy. You couldn't. There wasn't even any advertisement. It's just all Ozzy. I mean that. Because his was the music that kind of broke barriers.
Yeah,
you had hardcore metal guys. That's all they ever listened to. But then you get casual fans.
I sent you the video earlier of Henry Rollins talking about opening for Ozzy Osbourne, growing up an Ozzy Osbourne fan. Nobody would, if you just sat and listened to Black Flag or Rollins Band, you wouldn't think that this guy was a huge hardcore Ozzy guy, but he was. Much like when you look at guys like Pantera, or I'm trying to think of some other bands, Sepultura, and they say, some of my inspiration was Kiss, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and you play the farthest music from those bands, but I understand it. You have to start somewhere.
Right, there's a bass line, and their bass line is really good fucking music.
Absolutely. So, hey, from us here at Dysfunction Junction, John Michael Osborne, rest in peace. Thank you for music. Your music stays forever. Unfortunately, you had to go, and it's not our choice. So, if we had a choice, Herm, I'm still waiting for your trade. You never proposed your trade.
For what?
On the group chat when I said Ozzy died, you said, I'd like to propose a trade.
Oh, I was just proposing a trade, not anything specific, but I was just saying to the universe I'd like to propose a trade, and that's yes or no. Okay, what have you got? I'm just saying I'd like to propose a trade. I'll take all comers. What have you got? I'll figure something out, but nobody specific, but we can trade somebody,
There you go.
There
you go. I think
John Bon Jovi on a goddamn airplane, but
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right.
Amen.
So Lynch.
Wasn't that a Sherman Helmsley show in the 80s?
Yes.
Can't get Paul Stanley out on a boat somewhere. I'm just saying something,
dude. Think about it like this.
Doing a Folgers commercial.
Fuck that Folgers commercial. Think about it like this. Gene is right behind Ozzy in age.
Oh yeah.
I've been waiting for that, and I'm not like
Gene's not gonna just go. He's gonna be fine, and he's starting to. You're starting to see it with him. He's starting to be a little old.
He's gonna announce his death. He'll be like, "This is Gene Simmons.
Tune in live
from Kiss, and I'm gonna die Tuesday at 6 p.m. Forget about Dysfunction Junction. What I want you to do is go to kissonline.com, and for $39.95, right? And you can see me take my final breath but we have a diamond package, and you can come in for $3,000 and give me my last rites, and we'll give you your very own Kiss Pope outfit to give me those last rites.
And bury me in my Kiss coffin. www.kiss.com.
For real. He'll be like, next Thursday, I'm
going /coffin.
I'm gonna die.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Huey ship Lipschitz and Baum.
Then we have the ultimate package where you and Paul dig the hole.
I was just gonna say where you and Paul,
you drive me out to the desert in the back of a big limo.
In the urn.
No, well, I drive you out. Well, I drive Gene out to the desert. It's like the scene from Casino. It's Gene Simmons and one of his buddies
stands in the back and just wipes tears and weeps softly.
Tommy and Eric will be crying over my loss.
And Gene is standing softly while his brother is in the sand, writhing in pain.
This is non-refundable. There will be no talk of Vinnie Vincent at all during the proceedings.
During this funeral, okay?
Did I ever tell you about that time about Vinnie?
I was going to say, and then the priest starts out with, Gene wanted me to say that the problem with Vinnie.
Yeah, He shoots himself in the foot every
What
time.
is that? He shoots himself.
You have a wait.
Every
Lynch has a Vinnie Vincent story.
Huh?
Did you say you had a story about Vinny?
No.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, that I would have.
No.
I was not prepared. I thought he said I got a story about Vinny.
Oh man.
No.
Oh, he's doing the Gene bit, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Lynch saw a movie. You got 25 minutes, kid.
So a couple weeks ago, I said I didn't have a lot of hope for Superman's James Gunn. Excuse me, James Gunn Superman.
Same.
Being as much into the nerd sphere as I am, it was hard to avoid any and all spoilers of this movie. So I already knew what was coming.
Superman wins.
No, not really.
I don't want to ruin this, but Rocky wins this at the end.
Rocky wins at the end.
I don't want to ruin this, but the dude dies.
Go ahead.
So I knew what I was going into. It was just I had heard some not so great things about it. So it kind of skewed my opinion already. I will say it was better than I expected.
All right.
I think the notion of the idea that they were trying to do was on point with where they plopped him in his career as Clark Kent / Superman. However, to me, it felt like a Mr. Terrific movie guest starring Superman. Mr. Terrific stole that movie from everybody else. His character was probably besides Lex Luthor, the most well-written to the comics. The actor is amazing. He was good. Nicholas Hoult was good as Lex Luthor. Everybody who they featured in the film, and I'm going to say featured, because that word's going to come into importance in the next couple sentences. Everybody they featured in that movie did a really good job. I liked David Corenswet as Superman and Clark Kent. He played him. He played him very aw shucks, like old school comic book from the 50s, and I appreciated that. And Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane wasn't really here nor there about her. She was okay in that show, Miss Maisel, on Amazon Prime. That's a good show. She was decent. The problem with the movie was they broke the law. One of the basic laws of writing a screenplay.
Okay.
If you start off and you say, you give us a little bit of exposition, and you say this happens. This guy fights, this guy fights, this guy fights, and that's what happens here. And then this happens, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Then this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens. The end. You got a lot of shit happening, but it doesn't really matter. The way it should be written is this happens, this is how it starts, this happens, which therefore this becomes important to this event, where it ties together as a story, as a flowing narrative. It was a series of little 15 to 20 minute things featuring Superman and the Justice Gang, just thrown out there at a time, with a couple of good dialogue scenes between Rachel Brosnahan and David Corenswet as Clark and Lois. A couple of serious dialogue scenes with Lex. And then it just stops. You kind of piece the story together because they feed it to you. I appreciate what they put out there. But it was obviously very heavily edited and rearranged. There are some things that happen in the movie that don't make sense time-wise. There's some flaws in continuity. And there you see chemistry between the two leads. But everybody else in that movie, the guy who plays Perry White, he's background dressing. Has like 10 words in the whole movie. The kid who plays Jimmy Olsen, yeah, he kind of fits into the plot a little bit. And then there's this chick who plays Miss Tessmacher, who kind of plays into the story a little bit. And everybody else is just this guy with gun, that bystander with purse. It's hard to explain. It's just, at the end, I was like, well, I enjoyed what I saw. It was very visually pleasing. And having to piece the story together in my head, I think I told myself a pretty damn good story. It's like a choose your own adventure Superman movie.
Okay.
Too many characters in the film. They have the same problem they had with Justice League. If they wanted to do a Superman, Mr. Terrific movie, I think that would have been a fantastic boom. That's it. You don't need Guy Gardner as a Green Lantern. You don't need Hawkgirl. You don't need Metamorpho.
The Element Man.
If you have a good script, you don't need all those pretty canon characters within the Superman story. You don't need all that. You got Lex Luthor, established villain. You got Superman. You got Lois Lane. And you got Mr. Terrific. That's all you need. Throwing on these other inconsequential people that just kind of show up, do a few funny things, and then leave. I mean, they're setting it up for a. I hope that they. It was directed by committee and edited by committee. And because this movie had a couple test screenings and shit got cut. It was 2 hours and like 15 minutes with credits. The original runtime of this movie was like 2 hours and 35 minutes. And I think with some judicious trimming, had they left some of those elements of the plot and story and character development, there was zero character development. So, coming from a critical standpoint, what I saw, I really liked. And it shows promise that if anyone other than James Gunn handles this property from here on out, I think he can produce it. Step away, man, because all that heart and all the correctly timed comedic moments in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, had you gone that route with this Superman, it would have been a fucking flawless, perfect movie. But you get to some very kind of emotional points where they kind of get you, and then they ruin it with a fucking joke, a misplaced joke. And that's what happened a lot with me with Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was like, no, just let the story go. You're telling a good emotional story. It's an interesting story. And they have an interesting story here with this version of Superman. I mean, I don't know how spoiler you want me to get, but he's only come out 3 years as Superman. And this is the movie starts off with him losing his first fight ever. He got the shit beat out of him. And then Crypto comes to the rescue. I know Crypto has a lot of critics. I appreciated it. I appreciate it for the nostalgia's sake. He does play a very important part in the plot. And I'm glad they actually incorporated him into the plot and not just be a comedic device like Jar Jar Binks in the Star Wars galaxy. They actually used him in the story. But yeah, there's a good story in there, the way they wanted to present it. And there's a twist that pissed me off when I originally saw it, but I have thoughts about where they're going to go with it, about what his parents' intentions were, Jor-El and Lara. But
So did you like the movie overall?
overall, I liked it. It wasn't political. Well, kind of. I mean, two made-up countries fighting a war. Superman gets involved. Blah blah blah. But that's used as a plot device in the movie by Lex Luthor. I just wish they utilized some of the more interesting characters they had in the supporting cast in like the Daily Planet, like Perry White. Perry White's a great fucking character. He was great in the old serials with George Reeves, and he was great in the original Donner movie. And Frank Langella played a very good Perry White, I think, in Superman Returns. And here he just has he's a very small piece of the plot, and just you didn't need to be there. They could have done the screenplay without him. And I don't like that. That to me, that's one thing they did wrong. I think if they were to make a Justice Gang movie, as a Justice Gang movie, it's a good movie, because that's what it really is. It's a Justice Gang movie, which is Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, and Metamorpho. He's good at the teams. He's not so good at the individual story. And to me, this is telling the story of Superman. And he's kind of there out of convenience. And he gets the shit kicked out of him the entire movie. He gets beat up. But I can kind of appreciate that, because it shows that everyone has a breaking point. But overall, I enjoyed it. I'm going to watch it again and pay attention a little bit harder at some stuff I think are plot errors or whatever, and make sure I just wasn't making mistakes. I've seen worse. This is better. This is miles ahead of anything Marvel's done since Endgame.
Okay.
Very good, very tightly edited. The score is amazing. They make reference to the original John Williams score at the appropriate times. It made you feel good a bunch of times. And it's just, I wish they just kind of strung those moments together and it just kind of massaged the story a little bit more. Because it just seems like just shit happened until this happened. There was no impact. There was only a few things that any character motivation anybody did that really made a difference in the plot of the movie. There's like one or two things. Everything else just happens. But okay. I've seen worse. I've seen much, much worse. But I'm hearing Go ahead. Out of 5, I give it a 3.
Okay.
And I'm hearing very positive things about the new Fantastic Four movie.
Really?
I'm hearing some very positive reviews. The review ban was lifted at 9 a.m. this morning because there was a moratorium on any critic reviews of the movie until today. It's trending pretty well on Rotten Tomatoes. It's in the 80s, like mid 80s, like 85% fresh. So that's a lot of those reviews that are certified. They're on the payroll, so to speak.
Right.
But more your independent guys that are submitted to their, like your Critical Drinkers, your Nerdrotics, your Film Threat, Chris Gore, Alan Ing. Those guys are giving it some decent praise, and those are the guys that I pay attention to. So my hope for that movie's getting a little bit better every day.
Good deal.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had seen it in the theater, but maybe I will go at some point before it leaves theaters.
Superman's never been a character I would run to the theater for, with the exception of the very first film back in '78, where I begged my parents to take me, and they did. Past that, Superman's not a character I care about. When you have someone as close to infallible as Superman, no. I want some drama. I want some intrigue. What's the intrigue in Superman?
Well, you see, that's why the way they're playing it, I appreciate it because they're showing him that he's weak. He's at a weak point right now. He's gotten the shit kicked out of him. He fought his first fight that almost licked him.
Licked.
They make use of the old lore of the Earth's yellow sun heals him, and that's his healing factor. Playing into that old school mythology, and the hypno glasses, the whole gimmick with the hypno glasses from the 50s, that the reason Clark Kent wears glasses is because they're special glasses that everyone sees Clark Kent differently when they look at him with those glasses on. They don't see him as how he looks as Superman.
That's one thing that always bothered me. And it stopped me. I understand what you're saying, but watch this. Clark Kent, Superman. Clark Kent, Superman.
Well, you have to admit Christopher Reeve's performance as both of those characters in the 1978 Richard Donner movie were two completely different people when he was playing Clark Kent than when he was playing Superman. His acting was phenomenal. So
that's correct.
Had they played into that,
it was wonderful.
Well, if they had played into that old school lore with that movie, it would have made it even more believable. Because going into it, armed with that knowledge that that's the canon they're using. Yeah, because everything in comic books is far-fetched.
Right. If Osama bin Laden had only had a pair of horn-rimmed glasses, he'd have never been caught.
No, they look different.
Right.
Wait, look.
Waleed? Osama bin Laden.
I'm Joe Cocker now.
Waleed. Osama bin Laden.
What are you calling me? Osama? Osama bin Pimpin'?
Right. Silky Smooth. Osama bin Laden.
Silky Smooth.
Wait, doesn't Silky look like... Shut up. Just shut up. He does not.
Yeah, that motherfucker's a dead ringer. Dead ringer.
That's about it for me. You guys got anything else before we close up shop?
Football coming up soon.
Woo!
Football coming soon.
5 more months of me tearing the gray hairs out of my head. And
are you in that Yahoo league again this year? That fantasy league we were in last year?
With Billy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know he just re-upped it.
All right, cool. And then we were in that other one with
Duke, the one for TSR. I have to re-up that.
Okay, because I like that league.
That was fun, except the Australian guy won everything. Fucking kahuna.
I love it, man. I love it.
He actually named the group. I was like, hey, you want to join a fantasy football league? He goes, oh, you have a footy comp?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Not a foot
TSR footy comp.
I like the footy comp. I love it. But
yeah, I'll get that rigged up in the next day or two.
Awesome.
And we'll figure out a draft day.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season of football this year.
Yes, especially if you root for a team that isn't the New England Patriots, who are on the straight wagon to Suckville. It sucks,
Pittsburgh. Man. Pittsburgh's got it in the bag, man.
Oh, God. No, they don't. They got Grandpa.
They got Jesus himself.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Just listen to him. He'll tell you.
Of course. Although his contract does stipulate that halftime is a little bit longer on a Pittsburgh game, so we can get a nap between the first half and the second half. And mandatory pudding.
Pudding.
Got to have my pudding. Herm, you got anything else?
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
Well, we'll close down the ice cream shop for tonight. We'll see you next week. Maybe we'll find out more about the Epstein files. Maybe we won't.
Probably not. Oh.
Although I do have some feelings on that as well, but we'll talk about that next week because that's about it. I'm not talking Epstein this week. Other than I got actually, did you see online? I shared the Epstein list.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Mr. Carter, Mrs. Carter, Barbarino, Horshack.
Oh,
he wants all of them. He wants all of them killed.
Yeah. Heard.
Hotsy Totsy was on. Verna Lee was on the list. She didn't do anything. Good night, fuckers.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
The wrong end.
Sleep soundly in your beds tonight.
Go wrong.
Judgment falls upon you at first light. I'm the hand of God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful one. In the blackest moments of a dying world, what have you
Do you think at some point they put a bag around Oz in his last moments and somebody yelled, "It's shake and bake," and I helped?
Ew. What's the flavor though? What's the flavor?
It's definitely a good puff.
Old British
Probably cherry.
shoe leather,
Because every wife
Crispy
has wanted
cocaine?
to fucking put a bag over her husband's head
salty cock.
at some point.
Wouldn't put it past Sharon. I'm just
No.
saying.
No,
Grandpa's crank?
Mama said you coming home tonight. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Grandpa's crank.
But
Where are my pants? Ozzy, give me my pants back.